Hello there. Today I have a video that I've really been hoping I could make because this is an issue of Barcode News magazine, and there are basically no records of this magazine's existence on the internet at all. I found out about it while I was researching the Cousin soft strip, and more specifically digging into Paperbyte, which was a Byte magazine publication of trying to put software into a format that would be readable with a light pen, one much like the HP Heads 3000 you can see down here in the corner. A lot of the Barcode content in Byte magazine could be attributed to Carl Helmers, who was the initial editor there. But in 1980, Carl Helmers left Byte to create his own magazine, and this is it. Now, the only source other than Carl Helmers himself saying that he made this magazine that I can find that even acknowledge that it exists is a review of it in PC Magazine from 1984. And in that, it says that this magazine was started in 1981 and has grown from a 4-page newsletter into the fully fledged magazine that you see here now. And that's basically it. There is no other information about this online at all. So I've been trying to hunt one down so we can take a look at what Barcode News is, because I find this fascinating. And I'm really hoping at some point I can find a 1984 issue that talks about the Cousin soft strip, because I really feel like Carl Helmers probably had some interesting stuff to say about that. He was so excited about the Cousin soft strip when Byte reviewed it early that he actually wrote into Byte just as a regular reader to share some of his thoughts and ask some more questions. So this is something he was definitely passionate about. And while this may seem like an antiquated topic, I actually know people who still work in this field, so it is alive and well, and has evolved to include other things like RFIDs and other kinds of computerized trackers now that technology has become disposably inexpensive. But today we're just going to focus on this one. So let's start off with the cover here, where we have just a bunch of really awesome stuff to begin with. So we see an Apple II Plus that has the Power Saver add-on sidecar thing. We have the classic Sanyo monitor, a setup that I replicated in my Apple II setup video, but with an Ikegami. But then we have something interesting that I didn't even know existed. We have an Axlon RAM Disk 320 on there. I didn't know there was a RAM disk available for the Apple II. I am interested in hunting one of those down now. But then we can see the cash register drawer and the Heads 3000 wand down there. So the Heads 3000 is an HP OEM wand. This wouldn't actually be considered the Heads 3000. The Heads 3000 was a development kit that was made for manufacturers to purchase and then figure out how they wanted to integrate this into other products. So this won't even be branded HP or anything. It's just meant to be a drop-in solution for other products. So I could see this maybe connecting to the cash register drawer, and then the whole thing has a card that goes in the Apple II. Maybe we'll see how this works in the magazine, or maybe this is just a pretty picture on the front. The only way to find out is to step inside. All right, I am going to show every single page of this magazine, and it looks like I probably want to adjust my lights so they don't reflect as much on the curved pages here. There we go. Now, I do want to go through every single page of this magazine, but I will also be scanning it later so you can get a closer look. Probably won't have that done by the time I publish this video, but this is definitely something I want to get scanned because there just are no existing copies of them online. So get in, and we have the index here. So we can see over here under the consulting editors, Carl Helmers. Now, Carl Helmers actually founded a publication company, and Barcode News, I believe, was the first magazine that they produced. He would later go on to produce 2 more magazines underneath the same company. So he was probably trying to manage multiple things in the background here. I don't know if there are any articles in this directly written by Carl Helmers, but it's definitely his baby, I can tell you that. This magazine would also later be renamed to ID Systems, which is somehow an even more difficult name to research. The name Barcode News was unfortunately kind of stolen by some other publication in 2019, it looked like, as the Barcode News magazine, which makes it really difficult to try and find any other information about this, but I'm pretty sure there is nothing out there. All right, let's go ahead and continue here. This is kind of interesting to see here because this identification label looks an awful lot like how Intel started labeling their motherboards around the Pentium 3 era. That's kind of cool to see. I'm not going to read through every single article here. I was considering reading through this one here. Scanning plus communication savings for supermarkets. So this talks a little bit about the advent of UPCs, and how they helped, just generally everyone make sense out of how to sell things. So it's kind of cool to see that. My gosh, it's so delightfully barbaric, but just like the same thing. So I thought this was kind of cool, a Facet brand label printer over here. I have flipped through this magazine, but I didn't actually read anything because I wanted to just see it all here. I will say the way stuff is labeled down here at the bottom in the footer is very much like Byte. Surprising number of printers in enclosures, almost like they don't want you to have to hear the printing sounds all the time. The Boss. That's got to be an Apple II clone. It's got that same Axon RAM disk thing in there. Interesting. The Boss. It runs your store. The Boss. The name alone conjures up images of something or another. We call it The Boss. Explains because it literally does run your store. I arrive at work with just a smile on face because I know not only my closing figures for the night. Blah 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 blah. The Boss includes ABT, bar wand, cash drawer, and other accessories. Has remarkable range of benefits. Cash control is faster and more accurate. That's interesting. So there's the Heads 3000 again there. The cover photo was credited. The cover photo is supplied by ABT Technology of San Jose. System featured in the story The Boss. It runs your store begins on page 12. Okay. Well, that's curious. What is that? I think is that the Franklin Apple II clone? Yes, it is. That is the Franklin Ace 1000. So that explains that. Okay, that is hilarious. All right, I wonder if the RAM disk was part of the package then. Let's read on a little bit here. Let's see. Home computer store where they have although just or is that not a continuation of the same thing? Boss is a trademark of the home computer store. Okay, cache control is faster and more accurate. Okay, does it even mention the Apple II? Continued on page 48. Holy moly, that's quite the jump. I want to follow this lead here. Hold on. The Boss. Many small retailers. Boss is giving us all the control we need. High precision, large memory version of the Boss sells for $7,500 for an Apple II clone. Maybe. Who knows what you're getting? Maybe it doesn't really specify whether it's an upgrade system for an existing computer or a wholesale drop in place system. That's so weird. Because they're showing two different computers. I don't know. This is leading to more questions than answers, which I kind of did figure would happen. I have no idea what the heck that thing is. That is quite the barcode reader. I wonder if that's like a combo wand and scanner. Detachable decoder wand in your existing terminal. Oh, that's super cool. So it's a man-in-the-middle serial barcode reader to go in between a terminal. So it probably has two serial ports on the back, an input and an output. Okay, that's really cool. Modern PS2 ones, PS2 being modern, haha, worked by going in between the keyboard and the computer so you could just type in the numbers from the barcode. That's kind of cool. So that concept existed all the way back here. All right, we got an awesome line printer that I don't know. They're printing a lot of stuff that doesn't look like barcodes on there. I don't know why you would need a 14-inch barcode printer, but okay. Automated food store checkouts. There we go. A history of its early development. This is really cool to get a period look of UPCs as they were being implemented. I do want to read this. I'm going to have to read this on my own time. This is a pretty long article. Oh, man, this is awesome, though. Look at whatever that terminal is. Got no clue. Could be a visual? I don't know. Based on the metal chassis, seems a lot like my 200. Get an MTech, which comes with what looks like a VT100 there. That thing's crazy, though. We got the whole factorial belts and everything. Oh, man. I wouldn't mind getting some shipments of those in, that's for sure. I mean, I just noticed the name is Legittronic. Dude, that totally sounds like someone's username. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool. Barcode software for the Epson HX20. So I did get a little sneak peek of an ad or something back here for the TRS-80 Model 100 right there. But yeah, the Epson HX80 and the TRS-80 100, I'm pretty sure both have barcode reader ports, because this kind of thing was just, they were like an ideal application for this. A small portable computer, log data, do some calculations, build in your sheets, and then send them off to a mainframe or something. That's like kind of awesome. So yeah, that's really cool. With IS 3000 wand, I guarantee almost everything here that's like a wand that's small is probably the head's 3000, especially if it's got 3000 in the name. So yeah, that probably is a spin on that. It is just funny to see the HP wand everywhere here. So happy I was able to get the original dev kit for that. Really need to get back to it because it would be cool. Oh man, they're all so excited to be here with their, oh my gosh, that little terminal's so cute. And that's a lot of thing right there. I don't, what on earth? Tell us how you'll use the barcode labels. We'll tell you the best way to make them. Okay, but what is a Saubar 541? What? I also want the CDX3. That thing's sweet. Ah, big. Man, this thing is hilarious. It's like the Zebra printer, or that other brand, I forgot what is, that has the DRM paper spools, but it's like the little tabletop label printer, kind of the same thing here, but it's like, it's huge. Oh man, this is great. So Scantech, this is something that is teased on the top of the cover here. An upcoming expo full of barcode-related wonders. I kind of wish we could have got one of the issues where they talked about everything that was being shown. Comdex is one of the bigger, more general ones. That is one of the later light pen kinds. That's a lot more slick. That I don't believe is based on the heads. Is this the first color page in the whole magazine outside of the intro? Yeah. Oh, those are cool. So barcode printing directly onto stuff. This is still kind of a challenge today just because of the physical nature. I think basically you use nowadays like a ink thrower kind of thing. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know why that needed to be like a color ad. I feel like this would have been almost just as effective being the inverted white on black. More color just for flag. Oh, look at that. They got the serial terminal light pen just like glued to the side of the monitor as if it was the Reader Rabbit microphone. Oh, that's great. And then the giant enclosed printer in the background so you don't have to listen to it. Oh, I don't have one of those. I would like to get one because I definitely don't have a problem. Look at, oh my gosh, IBM Beamspring terminal back there with an enormous printer. That one looks like they're printing off sheets of labels with, oh, that could make sense why you would want the big printer so you could print a lot of labels all in one pass. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Okay, you might even, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you would serialize the labels, print them off, and then if they're like, you know, maybe you tape them to the box or maybe they're adhesive backed or something, you could scan the label, stick it on the thing, scan the next label, stick it on the other thing, and then just go along, have the labels pre-produced like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, man. So these are... yeah, these are kind of awesome. I'm pretty sure you could see something like this in like the old Supermarket Sweeps TV show. This would be kind of really cool to get an example of. I wonder, I've never looked. Are there any on eBay? I'm just going to find out really quick. Okay, so Spectra Physics apparently made some crazy stuff outside of just, a barcode scanner. Uh, I don't see that scanner. Would love to get one of those. That would be awesome, though. All right. Oh, we got a lot more color here. Ah, so here we go. The ScanTech show. I wonder if the Cause and Soft Strip showed up here. I don't think it would have, because the Cause and Soft Strip is far more consumer oriented than this magazine is really geared towards. But I could have seen it being like a Halo product in their eyes, where barcodes are coming to the masses. I don't know. I would love to get an issue of this that talks more about it, to see their perspective on it. They could have also hated it. I don't know. It's just, I feel like Carl Helmers would have loved it with the work that was done on Paperbyte. Oh, what is that thing? Give your computer a hand. UDI 100 best handheld computer terminal on the market today. Okay, so I'm going to guess, yeah, byte memory, two-way communications. The way these generally work, you might have a barcode reader. I don't know that this will. It realistically should. But you would save a bunch of information in the handheld and then plug it into your computer later and send it all into your system. So like, let's say you're doing inventory counting rather than have, like, I actually don't know what she would be doing here in the middle of nowhere without like one of these being hooked up to that scanner, because you would use this to hold the information until, okay, barcode wand reader is available. You use this to hold the information until you get back to your system, and then you upload it. So say you're doing inventory, you can look at the shelf, scan the tag, figure out how many products you actually have on the shelf, and then type that into here, and then that gets stored till you get back to your computer and you upload that information. Same process as is done today, but nowadays it's hopefully Android, maybe it's still Windows CE in a lot of places, where you'll type this information in and then it'll just upload that information directly over Wi-Fi. This is such a barbaric, low effort ad. It's amazing. All right. This. I would love to know more about this thing in particular here, because I'm starting to wonder if this was a generic chassis for a terminal system that was sold, because there's actually a thing for sale near me. And there's one on eBay that is like an X-ray computer that uses what looks to be the exact same chassis. Unfortunately, they don't have the keyboard, so I don't know what that would have looked like. But I don't know. I've decided I'm not buying the X-ray computer because I don't want X-rays, and I'm not sure where they're generated. It looks like there might have been like a giant platform that goes with it. But anyway, I would love to know more about that chassis, because it is obviously heavily inspired by the Data General Dasher, or maybe just the, retro sci-fi future looking stuff in general, but it really looks a lot like a Dasher. That appears to be the kind of module that you would put inside of a cash register below the surface, pointing up to be able to scan barcodes through the glass. That's kind of cool. Another giant enclosed cabin printer there, though. That's a weird barcode reader. So how to read barcodes like magic without a wand? So their whole thing is just touting that the ergonomics are different. I mean, the barcode reader gun earlier is on a wand either. I don't know. That's that. I feel like they might have had an idea, but that wasn't the way the market was going to go. All right, that's pretty good iconography for a barcode company. That's pretty sweet. That's weird. Photographic science is check 2. Fully portable, easy to operate barcode reader for quality control with liquid crystal display. Oh, you clip this on your belt, and then you just like punch in the numbers as you're working. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know quite how you input like more stuff, but yeah, there's probably the same pen from that other one that's not the Heads 3000. I don't know who's making that one. This was, so HP designed their own sensor to put into the tip of the pen for the Heads 3000. That's part of why there aren't that many variants, and why you see that one in particular all over here. So, yeah. Oh, look at the little star pattern. Been a while since I've seen that. Dude, just think, like, yeah, there's a whole computer system somewhere in here. I actually have part of a Nixdorf registry system like this. It's deep in storage because I don't have enough to run anything, but it's got a cash register drawer, I believe. But I don't have the computer to drive it. Just one of the terminals is in probably acceptable condition, but yeah, you can see there are parts of a computer here, and then this probably is just a terminal that runs back to one big computer in the office, because they can't afford to put it like a computer in every single one. It's 1983 here, but Yeah, it's, man. It's application of technology, which is cool. There's another pretty cool looking terminal. Same slim pen there. Ooh, OCR. Now that's sweet. I wonder how that works. The barcode, yeah, MICR combination. Okay, that makes sense. So that's magnetic image coded recognition, maybe. So that's the like if you look at the bottom of a check, you get the weird like lumpy 70s computer looking numbers. That's how that OCR works, and it's not like crazy like capable of like reading arbitrary text. It's meant for reading letters that are printed in a specific way. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised we haven't seen any MICR printed lettering anywhere in here. That it looks like that with the lumpy big characters in places. So you use the lumps to indicate what the characters are. It's not actually reading the characters. It's just looking basically like Braille, but for computers to be able to figure out what each character is. So limited A, full alpha A. So yeah, you'd have to use a very specific font for this, I bet. Oh, and MICR. I think MICR may just be the number standard. So I don't know if these would all be like different font standards you would have to use. You might need a specific printer. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was more advanced than that by this time. I don't know. You can buy a barcode reader or OCR reader today and upgrade it to barcode and OCR or MICR. Oh, maybe it really is more. I would love to know more about that. I know there was software that could do OCR at this time. I have some that I need to mess around with at some point, but I feel like doing it in real time here would be kind of a lot to ask. So I don't know. Oh, maybe MICR. I'm actually looking at the images. Maybe MICR is just for checks. I don't know. Yeah, it's a very complicated industry. All right, then we got the little ad here for Drive a Zebra for the TRS-80 Model 100 down there. Looks like they don't even mention that, so it's probably just sold as a full system. Televideo 910 terminal there hooked up to some kind of label printer. Yeah, that's definitely a label sticker printer with that roll around the edge so you can easily peel the stickers up. That's cool. Oh, that's a pretty printer. I have no idea what computer that is. What is that? Our new PS500 system uses the best of both worlds. Full-featured label and barcode printing. Complete small business computer system. Maybe it's unique. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So the monitor's inset into the chassis back there. I've never seen a computer that looks like that. Cardinal Computers Inc. Huh. I'm going to try and keep myself from looking up every single thing here because this will be a 12-hour long video if I do. But yeah, that's really cool. I like this keypad too. Keypad with integrated graph paper and notepad. Okay, it looks like the exact same barcode reader that goes in your terminal just advertised again. It is 100% the exact same thing. Oh, that's great. Televideo 950 here with a barcode wand. I don't think mine has that kind of thing as an option. I just think it has the input and output serial ports on it. So I wonder if they modify the 950 to essentially have one of these built in and then just like drill a hole in it to put the light pen port. Well, it's not a light pen, it's barcode reader. Similar, but different. Zebra caricatures. Oh, okay. They're not calling a business person a puppet. All right. I was like, why is it such a creepy ad? Got an AMDEC 300 monitor on your IBM computer because you want nice legible monochrome text. I will stand monochrome monitors for text legibilities so hard, although that one's composite. So that one's not as great, but still really good. And that's the perfect application of a low spec IBM system. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, look at that. That thing's crazy. It's a whole spool label printer and then a label gun. So you print these out. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you print out your spools and then you put them on there. So you probably would carry around one of those handheld scanner tracker things. Like I was talking about, maybe that looks a little clunky. All right. So just trying to piece together the story here. This is why this kind of thing is really cool, because we can just look at this stuff. So go back a little bit here. So we have our handheld data entry terminal, all right? And we have our handheld label gun that's full of pre-printed barcodes from our barcode system here. So we print out a custom spool of barcode labels, and we have this. We peel one off of here, stick it on our item, scan it on this, and then we can enter in information about that, bring it back to our crazy looking computer doohickey, and then type in that we did the thing, and that's your closed loop system where you can put it all together. Man, this is cool. So I think that was the printer that was in the background with the other televideo terminal with the dude like leaning over it. Yep. Yeah, called it. That's pretty sure the same printer there. So data products, ML or M100L printer. All right. I think about it. The Visual 200 has a horrible black bezel like that around it. So whatever that other one was, probably not the same. Well, not necessarily the same. Oh, it looks a lot like that. We're at the last page here, so that's why I'm kind of dragging my feet, because it's cool and I don't want it to end. Oh my gosh, look at that scanner. That's incredible. I want that more than the other one. The other one looks like cheesy 80s garbage. That one just looks awesome. That one's pretty good too. Okay, I apparently want an old beige scanner gun. Those just look great. But that is the end of the magazine there. Ooh, card printer. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's a Zebra printer too, but sold by MIH? I don't know. Weird. Yeah. Oh no, this is Zebra. They're saying they're a part of this whatever group or something. That's really cool. But that is Barcode news. I'm really, really happy that I managed to find an issue of this magazine. I will get this scanned and uploaded to archive.org at some point, but that gives us a quick look at it for now. Yeah, never been able to find any real information about this thing before, so I'm really happy that I was able to share this issue with you. Hopefully you found that interesting like I did, and I'll see you next time.